Good morning, everyone. It is February 27th, 2018. Oh my God, fucking February has just flown by. So, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing very, very well. This particular video is not going to have a article attached to it. I'm going to check out this guy talk and talk about the events over the last couple of weeks and what maybe we could expect to see from the government and the people as well. So, you know, before this event, the country was majorly divided along racial lines, political, you know, right, left, and this division between the people has more and more led to violence on the street, and it's in my opinion that eventually these tensions are going to end up in civil war. Now, with this latest event, the shooting, we can add another division, and that is the division of gun rights versus no gun rights. And let's listen to what this guy has to say, because I really think it speaks to the overall agenda.
Orientation.
My son is stronger than I am.
With classes set to resume, their concern, security.
I'm sending him back on Wednesday with no progression on gun control, no progression on school safety. So he's going into the same situation that he was on the 14th. Nothing.
One thing has changed, and that is the individual who people warned about over and over again to the authorities is locked up. That has changed. You see, the overall agenda is to rob us of our Second Amendment and to have a society that is obsessed with safety. And we can see this throughout our workplace. You know, I was working at a manufacturer of headliners for BMW. I did quality control there. And where I was working, there wasn't any noise really to speak of, and yet every fucking day they would nag and nag and nag and nag about these goddamn earplugs. Well, this freak obsession isn't only in the workplace, it's everywhere. And it is really freakish, in my opinion. I mean, you can't go through life without getting hurt. When my daughter, when I was teaching her to ride a bike and she was scared to fall, I kept telling her, Abby, you can't go through life without getting hurt. Everyone gets hurt. Everyone. And I asked her if she wanted to be a prisoner of her fear or if she wanted to live a fun, fulfilling life. How can you if you are constantly gripped in fear over safety? Now, this guy, I'm sure his concern for his son is genuine, but what all of these people are failing to understand is guys like me, we're not going to turn our weapons in. We do not give a fuck if we're considered a criminal or not. And then you have the real criminals, the actual ones, of course, who definitely aren't going to just turn their guns in. And it's going to leave guys like him vulnerable. Vulnerable to home invasions. Vulnerable to carjackings. Vulnerable to a lot of bad shit. He and his family. He's asking the government to take away his ability to protect his family. He wants to completely rely on government to do that. And not even thinking for a moment about the fucking phenomenal job the sheriff's department there in Florida did. They cowered like bitches. And I think it's funny, really, really funny, that cops have absolutely no problem gunning down unarmed people with their hands up, throwing flashbangs into children's rooms, baby cribs, and burning the face on babies. And I figured it out. I know why that is. Because those people can't defend themselves. Those people don't have a gun. Those people are disarmed. They're easy targets. And like any other predator out there, what do cops go for? The easy targets. And that proves right there in itself that police are predatory. I mean, for the love of God, the motherfuckers have killed 450% more people in a 3-year period than 30 years worth of mass shootings, and yet this motherfucker is on TV worried about some random person shooting up that school again. What he should really be worried about is whether or not that fucking cop, that was a Freudian slip, the person that was seen in full garb with the rifle was a cop or not. That's what he should be worried about. That Cruz kid was not seen with any of the fucking weapons. But we have this teacher saying that she saw a guy dressed in full metal, or what was it, metal garb, body armor, all of it, with a rifle, but yet somehow it was that kid Cruz. You know how long it takes to put that shit on? So supposedly he got a ride from Uber to get to the school. Do you think an Uber driver would have picked up a motherfucker wearing armor from head to toe with a rifle? Even if he had it broke down and hidden, he's still dressed head to toe in this military garb, this armor. How did Cruz manage to get dressed in that so quickly, within 2 minutes, and begin killing people? How did he manage to undress so quickly when he had that interaction with one of the so-called students? And what pisses me off the most about this is the fact that no one will even consider for a moment that the bad guys are the police. This guy isn't a bad guy. He's a common everyday guy who's concerned for the safety of his child, and he probably stupidly believes the political rhetoric coming from the fucking left concerning the right to bear arms. He probably believes that mass shootings are actually an epidemic. And they're not. 800 and some odd since 87, so in 30 years. But over 3,000 in 3 years for police killings. Which do you think the real problem is? I mean, come on. Yeah, I know, a lot of people have, you know, and that's another thing that grinds my gears, is I make a video the other day about the shooting and how Trump is beginning to flip-flop, and some fucking asshole Trump supporter, and let me tell you, Trump supporters are just as big of assholes as, say, Hillary supporters. If you don't support their man, boy, do they have some lovely insults for you. And see, that's one of the things that makes political parties and the idea of left and right so fucking toxic. So yeah, you know, it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter, facts don't matter to people. All these people are thinking with emotion. And there's these kind of people who will end up dead in a shit hit the fan event. And believe me, one's coming. One way or the other, a shit hit the fan event is coming. I mean, all you need to do is look at probability and what it means to understand that a shit hit the fan event is coming. And when it gets here, guys like this and others are going to be real fucking sorry that they don't have the very guns that they demonize constantly. So anyway, I have another video for you. It's about war. Hope everyone has a good day. Remember, kill the state and live free.